Now, going to these elements here, these are really critical. A lot of people don't understand how to use this, and unfortunately, a lot of times, again, they undersize them. So these capitals here are used for an application on either refrigerator, wall oven, or pantry that is normally standard height, which is obviously 96 inches. So on a 96-inch height cabinet, you're talking about something like this being fine. But again, if you're going to a taller cabinet, you're going to something that is 9 feet or 10 feet, you would have to go to either the center application or the one on the lower part. Why is that? Because the scale of the entire unit is directly related to how wide and how substantial these carvings are. So if this was put on a 10-foot cabinet, it would get lost because the scale of the cabinet is not going to correspond to the scale of the pilaster. So you would certainly have to use something that has more substance to it, that has a larger mass to it. So again, I tell the designers, make sure they're using something that's proportionate to it. Don't undersize your elements, because the whole purpose of this is to create furniture, and furniture needs to make a statement. You need to do something that's going to be able to flow with the rest of the kitchen in size, in proportion, in grandeur. Now over here, these applications, again, it's the same type of thought process that we had with the capitals. What we're doing here is using these in 3 different applications on 3 different elements. In this case, what I would do is I would put this over a wall cabinet that maybe is somewhere between 24 to 30 inches wide. If this went on anything wider, what would happen is you'd have a lot of blank space on either side. Unfortunately, a lot of designers look at the element, are enamored with it and how beautiful the carving is, and then forget that it really has to relate to what's underneath it. So therefore, a cabinet of 24, 27 to 30 inches, this would be fine. But now if the cabinet is 42 inches or 48, you need to go to the next level, which would be something like this. Now again, perfect element, perfect proportion, great size, it's going to fill the space. But again, I say to designers, do not stop there. What you want to do is you want to frame that. You want to frame that with an applied molding, or better yet, going to the next step, creating a carved application that goes in the middle of a recessed panel. Now you're going to have a panel over a Sub-Zero refrigerator, for example. That panel is going to be 36 or 48 inches. You want to be able to put something in the center of that with the frame around it so it looks like it's been carved into that center piece. That's really imperative. And then when you go to the bottom one there, again, you need something that is big enough to carry that. That has to be put into a cabinet that's going to be 36 inches or more. The question is, what kind of statement do you want to make? And again, with something like that, you're looking for a statement that is going to be accentuated by molding, by a beautiful crown, and on either side by a fluted pilaster or raised panel pilaster. That element is perfect for refrigerators, pantries, wall ovens, entertainment centers. All of these elements here have to be used in proportion to what they're being put on. This is my favorite element here. I think this is so critical for a kitchen. Every time I try to design a kitchen or a bathroom or a wet bar, I always looking for something that has substance, something that's going to create furniture. And all of these elements are creating furniture. Again, if this was half the size, this could not make a statement. It needs to be this proportion and this scale. Now, I love the versatility of all of these because, again, they all have their own place in a design. If someone's looking for minimalistic design, all these carvings here and these carvings here are going to be overpowering. It's a contradiction of style. What you want to do is you want to use something with this type of line to it, or something with this type of line to it that's simple and yet elegant. If you want to do something that has some carvings and some elements to support the rest of the carvings throughout the room, you want to use this type of application. So again, a beautiful acanthus leaf, a flower with a swag on it. All this is really important to make sure that you're having that element, whether it's a sink, whether it's a stove, whether it's the corners of an island. That is going to make that important. It's going to make it pop. It's going to make it into a piece of furniture. And again, it's really critical. If you take a look at the way this is designed, the carving here is then matched with the base underneath it. This base from here to here is really imperative because in most cases, as kitchen designers know, this is going to be applied to a cabinet and the toe kick is going to be 4 inches on that. So if this is too big, you're going to have a lot of flat stock showing. So you want to be able to show enough of this to be able to still show a little bit of a straightaway on the base of this and then have a beautiful carved base molding on the bottom, tying in and going into and tucking underneath the toe kick. So again, very critical. And finally, this element here, this is a great way to be able to flank pilasters. And when I'm doing this on refrigerators or on an element like this on either side of a sink area, what I would do is I would incorporate this element right in here as a center panel. We would create a recessed panel and incorporate this carving right in the center of it. And it's great because these two sizes will complement the proportion of what you're doing. Now this one over here, being smaller in width, is going to work on an application of 6 inches. If you have an element like this, you're going to be using something of 6 inches or more. So again, very critical on what's the proportion and scale of it. Now a lot of designers sometimes are afraid to think out of the box. This has really been designed so these could be strung together. And that's really critical. So now how would a designer do that? What they would do obviously is put this on the top. And at a certain point here, at the bottom of this flower, cut this off and get this element here and attach it and carry it down. So you can start from something the size of this, 30 inches, and you can create something that's 6, 7, 8 feet high. And the beauty of this piece is that this can be applied to a pilaster on a refrigerator or a wall unit, and you could make this 6, 7, 8, 10 feet, whatever is necessary. And if you're doing something smaller, obviously the width of this would be overpowering, so now you can go to the next size, and you can use this on countertops 34 inches high. You can use this on island tops with bar stools, which are 42 inches high, and this width would be appropriate. Again, it's all about the scale. It's all about the scale. So now we went over all the different ways to design different elements of the kitchen, concentrating on the sink, the stove, the refrigerator, and island, using the WhiteRiver elements to create pieces of furniture, points of interest, using scale and proportion properly. And I am proud to tell you that I am a team of the WhiteRiver designers, and we're creating new and separate elements. My name is Salerno. Thank you.